hwie onunsu bekabi onunsu bekabi maminki kabi nchira no onunsu bekabi hwie abaya bina okope MP adi wa denta o report na ye frɛ no Akosua Manu ya odidi Rebecca Akufo-Addo achikura na bag no sa abaya no so akotena Metro TV say Sammy Gyamfi ye lïar na say Sammy Gyamfi aka kire Afenyo marking say on court or say on court because onu Sammy Gyamfi nim judge ni no wakotena Metro TV ka nsem na me say hwe onu nsu beka bi wu Akosua Manu Akosua Manu wu akope MP adi wa denta o report no abu Ramadan di wa tikọ hwi fom se bam no o be ka Sammy Gyamfi asem wu Akosua Manu wu. Well,
so whether it appears on Gold Board's balance sheet or it appears on BOG's balance sheet, right, we have a right to question what caused the 1.7 billion loss.
Yes. Valid, yeah.
Who is responsible for the design, the pricing, the implementation, the decisions? If Honorable sits here to say that PMMC transferred its liabilities to Gold Board, it doesn't feed into this conversation because the loss is clear. It's ring-fenced against 2025. 2025, Gold Board was in operations. 2025, Gold Board changed the architecture of PMMC. In becoming Gold Board, as we all heard with the fanfare and everything, Parliament gave it the monopoly. Right? Sole aggregator, combined as a sole regulator, inclusive of a task force to implement whatever price they set. If we sit here to make this a conversation of Sammy Gyamfi and Afenyo marking, we are being disingenuous to the good people of Ghana. 1.7 billion. If you look at the audited report of Gold Board itself, it talks about a $10.8 billion benefit to the country as far as its operations are concerned. Yet, we are well aware of the quantum sum of the equivalent of 133 million cedis, right, that the BOG gave to Gold Board. The minority, as far as we sit here, Honorable is interested...
Actually billion, 135 billion.
Sorry,
yes.
133 billion.
Yeah.
Thank you. As far as we are concerned sitting here, Honorable is also interested in what is contributing to the loss. I don't think he's running away from that fact.
Yes, I'm interested.
As a former parliamentarian, and if he was in opposition then, he would have asked for a probe into the matter, into an inquiry. Interestingly, this government at Parliament, and of course, they do the bidding of Jubilee House, shut down the inquiry from the minority. So it is not Anti-Efia sitting at Adenta Market who has to determine where the loss resides. Anti-Efia should be concerned because taxes will be laid on her and we will all have to pay. $1.7 billion should be the conversation. You see, I don't want to get into this Afenyo marking Sammy Gyamfi fan club because it creates a certain impression. If we are to get into that accusation, Honorable Kojo Oponkuma first went, stepped into the fray with this conversation when the IMF talked about the $240 million loss in relation to Gold Board, right?
Yeah.
What didn't we hear the same CEO of Gold Board say about him? He's not an accountant. Rubbished him, his experience, his pedigree, even the time he spent in Parliament and the experience he's gathered. Take that fact away from Kojo that he's an established individual who has experience, even in finance, in economy. He speaks intelligently to it. He rubbished him and said he didn't know what he was saying. Former Deputy Minister of Finance, Abena Osei-Asare, Honorable, also raised questions. They dealt with her the same way. She's incompetent, she's reckless, she's useless, she's silly. They use all sorts of invectives on her. Now, the hilt of it is what Honorable Afenyo is going to. Complete character assassination. What am I saying? It's establish a pattern. Anybody who questions Gold Board or BOG, so long as Gold Board is in the conversation, you are going to face personal attacks and insults. But those personal attacks and insults should not distract us. At the very least, the same CEO of Gold Board told us that Dr. Bawumia owned Haptel, and that if any Ghanaian that buys electricity, who loads the unit on their meter, has inherently put money on into the bank account of Dr. Bawumia, which is running his campaign. He said that. A lie. This same gentleman was sued by Honorable Dr. Matthew Puku-Pepe, wasn't he? And for which he won. He went to the appeals court, did he not? In fact, when he went to the appeals court, he didn't proceed till his government came to power. And for which that defamation has been squashed. Has it not? So if a liar tells you to go to court, then it means that he knows the judge. That is what he's essentially saying. Sammy Gyamfi is a known liar. From talking about, who owns Haptel, from even creating scenarios out of thin air about people that he even still sees and greets and shakes. Even defamation on your colleague journalist, Kwame Sefakai. And today he's talking about the impugning his integrity. He's talking about it's not fair to level accusations again. When he realized this, at the very least, even his posture in responding to the issues where Ghanaians are concerned, why are these losses coming? You said you've given us a benefit of $10.8 billion, but there's a loss of $1.7 billion. Why?
Mr. Muvanchami, in my introduction, Mikasa Bur Ramadan, Yabu Ramadan, Adamu Ramadan. Yes, Adamu Ramadan, and the NDC MP4, Adenta, and Yabu Ramadan. Maminyas are correction before it's too late. So, Adamu Ramadan, not Abu Ramadan, Adamu Ramadan rather. So, this is Akosua Manu sitting on what? On Metro TV. Sammy Gyamfi a trophy. Na Sammy Gyamfi enenam no twantro. Sammy Gyamfi say Bawumia only Haptel. And 70 people na Dr. Bawumia by dear no me ade otimi ya de o apps. Enya apps na Bawumia be create my dear no enya apps. Apart from apps, what was his achievement as vice president throughout the 8 years? Ade chance Bawumia lanchi apwa or lanchi apwa enya apps. I think this lady was the deputy NSA boss said you. Mmisan se brabe no bo. We no nyina ja corruption kata hyehyɛ proye ewo omo administration mu supervise watched over kanufurata makanufurata de sika di nsem hunu dwane kwasha America. Okotina TV so kasa. The conversation is that say Afenyo marking so ye bema ewo balls na bibi dan nantema onfa Sammy Kokot. It's simple. Afedi asema mo kan say o mo say ani so mo di Sammy Gyamfi Kokota, it will divert attention ben e be divert. It's not going to divert any attention ben e na e be divert. And divert your attention bia. Ntinu Afenyo should sue Sammy Gyamfi. This is the first time nipa na ye be sue ne no mura pa. Right now Sammy Gyamfi is even begging Afenyo to sue him. You understand? Because Sammy Gyamfi person gina bibi so no release evidence ne kire. Ye assume ye de. Ye person tinsem. After okay gina na Jesus Christ. They said many things about Jesus Christ na day and day. They say, "Who in Bible? Afenyo in Bible."